Hey friends, I hope your week is off to a great start. Today I want to share with you my favorite green smoothie recipe. This is what I drink pretty much 7 days a week, and I love the way it tastes. It's super nutritious and it keeps me full from breakfast all the way to lunch. No need for coffee or snacks. So I do these recipe tests every Wednesday. If you like this one, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up and click subscribe. So it's not very many ingredients, and I'm going to walk you through it right now. So for the base, I am using coconut milk. However, you could use any type of liquid that you like. So coconut milk, almond milk, cow's milk. It's a cup and a half. Next, I like to add in kind of all of my mix-ins. So these are things that if you add them at the end, sometimes they'll get stuck to the side of the measuring jug. So first I've got flax seeds, and I've got a high power blender, so I'm using whole flax seeds. If you have just a regular kind of standard blender, you might want to use flax meal because a traditional blender isn't really strong enough to break up the flax seeds. So it's 1 tablespoon of flax. I have golden, you could use black, red, whatever color you have. Next, I am doing chia seeds. So again, you can use whatever color chia seeds you want. I'm doing a tablespoon of chia as well. So then this is collagen. So this is really good for your hair, skin, nails. So I like to add this in. This is actually a grass-fed beef collagen, but there are lots of other collagens on the market, even made from seaweed. So really whatever you want is totally fine, or you can skip it altogether. So I really like this plant-based protein powder. It has a really nice taste. It has greens and protein mixed together. And so I just do a half scoop of this typically. I really think that having just a little bit of added protein helps keep me full for a little bit longer. And then this is kind of the bulk of the smoothie now. So I've got my kale here, and it's a ton of kale, and basically what I'm doing is just filling the blender to the top. So I'm gonna remove the really tough kind of stem from the back of it by just folding the leaf in half and then pulling it away. So I like to use kale here rather than spinach or some other green vegetable, because kale is something that I don't really like eating, but I know that it's super nutritious. So by putting it into this smoothie, the flavor kind of gets masked a little bit, and it makes it easier to eat. So I mean, this is a ton of kale. This would be a gigantic salad, tons of chewing, and you know, in the morning, I don't really have time or want to do that. So this is really like a green smoothie, but it's also a blended salad. So if you're trying to eat more healthfully, get more salads into your diet, and you know, you don't really love the chewing and you don't like these dark, kind of somewhat bitter greens, putting them into a smoothie with some other things that have flavors that you do like is a really great way to kind of sneak the greens into your diet and do something good for yourself, even though it doesn't really feel like you're doing something that's super good, right? So I'm just gonna keep ripping these up until my blender jug is full. All right, and I think that's good. I don't like to really pack it down too much. I just like to rip them up into smaller size pieces. That way when I mix, they kind of fall down as it blends. My blender does have one of those tampers, but I just hate using it because it's another thing to wash. This is fresh mint, so it's a big handful of mint. I really like the taste of mint. If you don't like mint, you can skip it, but I think you'll really be missing out, so I like to include it. And then last, for the sweetness, I've got 1.5 bananas. So this was from probably like a 6-inch banana. It wasn't super huge, so that's why I'm using an extra little nub here. So I've got these frozen. Rather than using ice in my smoothies, I like to use frozen fruit. That way the smoothie stays nice and thick and it doesn't get watered down. So I put the frozen fruit on the top. That way everything gets blended and the fruit drops down last. All right, so with that, I'm just gonna pop my lid on here, and then my blender's got a green smoothie function. If you don't have a green smoothie function, you're gonna wanna blend this just until the smoothie looks evenly incorporated and there are no bits of anything floating around. All right, so the smoothie is all done, and it's nice and even inside, and it's got a really nice thick texture. This typically makes about 22 to 24 ounces for me. But so you can see it's super, super thick. It's nice and kind of creamy and homogeneous all the way through. And the flavor is really, really delicious. It's very subtle mint. The banana flavor is present. This is also really good if you've got some ripe pineapple. Toss in maybe a half cup of that and it gets a really tropical flavor. Honestly, you do not taste the kale in here at all. So this is my go-to every single morning. I really hope that you give it a try. If you do, let me know how you like it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.